Hey, brothers and sisters, I've got breaking news. Earlier, I just finished doing a story about the Texas legislature running away to Democratic states, basically to break a quorum and stop all business in the Texas legislature. So if you want to see a detailed breakdown of that and all the issues surrounding it, go back and watch that video. But hot off the press, related to this topic, Governor Greg Abbott just sent out a letter. So I wanted to read it with you guys. And again, just a tiny bit of background. The Democrats do not like that the Texas legislature is going to redraw the political maps, and basically at the behest of Trump and the Trump administration, to flip 5 seats from Democrat to Republican in a maneuver called gerrymandering, which is 100% legal. You may not like it, and again, full disclosure, I don't like it. I wish we would change the way that worked, and my preference would be we only redistrict maybe every 10 years after new census maps come out, but that is not the law in Texas, and gerrymandering in some form is legal in every state. So the Democrats don't have the votes to stop it. So they've just decided to leave the state. So there's not enough members to actually conduct business. So they basically shut down the legislature by doing this. But there is actually important business that I'm kind of mad about. We're working on bills to help out people in the Hill Country, and they're not doing it. They're not voting on those. To me, that's a problem. I want him back to work. We hired him to do a job. But anyway, let's see what Governor Greg Abbott has to say. So August 3rd, 2025, that's today. Real Texans do not run from a fight, but that's exactly what most of the Texas House Democrats just did. Rather than doing their job and voting on urgent legislation affecting the lives of all Texans, they fled Texas to deprive the House of a quorum necessary to meet and conduct business. These absences are not merely unintended and unavoidable interruptions in public service, like an illness or a family emergency. Instead, these absences were premeditated for an illegitimate purpose. That one representative called breaking quorum. Another previously signaled that Democrats would have to go by an extreme measure of a quorum break to stop these bills from happening. In other words, Democrats hatched a deliberate plan not to show up for work for the specific purpose of abdicating the duties of their office and thwarting the chamber's business. That amounts to an abandonment or forfeiture of an elected office. Yeah, if I don't show up for work, most companies I've ever worked with, if they don't hear from you within 3 days, HR is usually fine with firing you. It's called job abandonment. I think that's what they just did. When the governor calls a special session, our Constitution provides that the legislature, I always have trouble with that word, shall meet. Texas Constitution, Article 3, Section 5, I think, emphasis added. It's not optional. It's a duty. The absconded, that's a good word. I like that. Democrat House members were elected to meet and vote on legislation, not to prevent votes that may not go their way. That's right. If you don't like legislation, win more elections. That's how it is. Run better candidates. Every session, legislators on both sides of the aisle find themselves on the losing side of a legislative vote. Yep. And on every session, most of those legislators find a way to disagree agreeably and behave like adults rather than going AWOL. Yeah, I see this exactly as like, this is a toddler throwing their dummy out of the pram moment. That's exactly what this is. The truancy ends now. The derelict Democrat House members must return to Texas and be in attendance when House reconvenes at 3 p.m. on Monday, August 4th. For any member who fails to do so, I will invoke Texas Attorney General Opinion KP, Ken Paxton, 0382 to remove the missing Democrats from membership in the Texas House. So he's going to fire them. In that opinion, the Attorney General considered whether Texas law allows for the determination that a legislator had vacated office if they intentionally break quorum. The Attorney General concluded that whether a specific legislator abandoned his or her office such that a vacancy occurred will be a fact question for a court. He further concluded that through a quo warranto action, a district court may determine that a legislator has forfeited his or her office due to abandonment and can remove the legislator from office, thereby creating the vacancy. That empowers me to swiftly fill vacancies under Article 3, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution. Yeah, under the Constitution, if someone is vacant during the session from their office, the Constitution provides the governor the ability to fill the position, and I don't believe there's any restrictions. He can put anyone in he wants for the remainder of the session, until a new vote can come up for the next session. In addition, abandoning their duties, these legislators may also have committed felonies. Oh yeah, now we're getting to the good part. Many absentee Democrats are soliciting funds to evade the fines they may incur under House rules. Any Democrat who solicits, accepts, or agrees to accept such funds to assist in the violation of legislative duties for the purposes of skipping a vote have violated bribery laws. See Texas Penal Code 3602. The same could be true of any other person who offers, confers, or agrees to confer such funds fleeing Democratic House members. I will use my full extradition authority to demand the return to Texas of any potential out-of-state felons. All right, so the extradition thing is nothing because they've gone to Democratic states, and so the Democratic states aren't going to return them. If anything, they'll just slow roll it and run the clock out for the next couple of weeks till the session ends. But eventually, these guys have got to come back. So I don't actually think that this is going to work out the way the Democrats want it to, because at worst case, Abbott can just keep calling special sessions till one of them comes back to the state, or because they can't stay away forever. And I'm generally not a fan of weaponizing the legal system. I always said that Ford did the right thing when he pardoned Nixon, because that whole Watergate thing made the country look bad. But you know what? Then Democrats tried to throw Trump in jail for 34 felonies, which are arguably bookkeeping errors. And so, you know what? If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If they're going to weaponize the judiciary, let's do it too. They drew first blood. Thanks. Bye.